Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the Spring of Sorrow Onslaught and how to deal with him and what's needed. And the truth is, as long as you are able to dex his level 1, you can use just about anybody against him. Ideally if you don't use a metal champion, but even metal champions can do well. There are a few key points in this fight, but none more important than being able to dex his level 1. Now, there are fair few issues with the AI and also some game mechanics that seem to be causing more problems than needed. Namely, the accidental parries when you swear you could not parry, and therefore in this fight it comes with a huge price of disabling your willpower, thus, forcing your health to start to leak out. Willpower in this fight can be extremely helpful, and losing it to accidental parry absolutely sucks. And additionally, whenever Crush is active, Onslaught has the same problem as Morbius does, where your characters just seem to kind of get stuck when you're trying to dex away from them dashing at you. So you need to dex super early whenever Crush is active. And not to mention the light intercepts, of course. But ultimately, this is just a regular Onslaught for most part. He has heavy hitter, making his heavy attacks harder to punish. There is still a window of opportunity for you to do so if you practice a bit. And then the most idea is that, it's just an Onslaught against whom you do not really crit. And you obviously have to intercept as well in order to get rid of power stings. And that power sting actually kind of helps you with the damage that you lose for not critting. But not critting has helpful part because you get less neurotoxins on you. And also, as you are successfully dexing Onslaught's special attacks, namely the level 1, ideally, but both of them are dexable, you do get yourself energy resistance and you take less neuroshock damage. Now, up until now, I have largely just been practicing to dex the level 1, and I really did have quite a lot of technical issues, and I'm quite pressed for time. And there will be more Onslaught practice streams for the objectives, but I have gotten mostly the level 1 dex down, which is what I'm going to showcase in this video. And the key point to this dex is you kind of have to dex the third hit earlier than you think. The first hit is a bit later than you initially would want to, and then the third hit is earlier than you think. More so, you're dexing the lights. And the fourth hit is also a bit later. So I will dex quite a few of those specials here in consecutively. I'll try to explain them again. Now, there is a better way how to dex his level 1, where you dash in between the last two hits, and then you can punish it, kind of like Void and Longshot. I still struggle to do that, because there the timing is still quite a bit different. And this fight is one of those fights where you just need to practice. You will either hate this fight and unit man through this fight, or you will grit your teeth, learn to dex the level 1s, and you'll be fine. In this fight, especially when, using any champions that can benefit from willpower, it's super important not to accidentally parry. When you do accidentally parry, again, it kind of spells the beginning of the end. Because you can get hit by the level 1s a couple of times, and ultimately it will mean very, very little. Because you will get debuffs on you, and then willpower is going to heal you up because you're not taking much neuroshock damage as long as you're dexing the special one relatively fine. The biggest issue definitely is losing the parry. As you can see here, I get those neuroshocks back on, but my health bar is, staying steady, relatively stable. I did make some mistakes, but we're fine for most part. We're going to get some debuffs on us again, and we're going to be happy with that. So, here I get intercepted again, but willpower is going to heal me up just fine, as long as you don't accidentally parry. Rest of the fight is pretty much about you trying to dex that level 1 the best you can. Still haven't soloed this fight. Did practice stream earlier how to learn how to dex the level 1 for an hour earlier today, and I will surely do so. So once I do, there will be another video of me soloing, him for the objectives. But again, the most important thing for this fight is do not get frustrated and just, embrace the grind, embrace the suck, and practice. Practice that level 1. It is going to be a rough fight. For plenty of people, there will be no other or better option than just to revive your way through this. I understand, because the timing here is extremely delicate and it does take a lot of practice. As we can see, I I have gotten to a point where I can dex the level 1 relatively fine. If I try to punish the level 1, then that doesn't work out to me that well. But I do make mistakes, throughout the fight, not mainly on the level 1. I get light intercepted more or caught on a dashback more or something like that. This is, after you learn level 1, it's still going to be fight and a half. So you can see here with this attempt, I have gotten him down to like 40%. I have had several 40, 50% fights, but no solo yet. Which again is something that I will carry on working towards too. But we're going to use this as an example of a level 1 dex right here, right now. So I'm going to go hit by hit, and I'm going to tell you what the dex. So here he goes for his level 1. So you immediately dex away the first time, because that still can catch you. As we can see, the dex works. Then, when he about extends his arm, is when you dex. When he's about to kind of like do that swinging motion, is when you dex the one projectile. Then it's fairly quick succession to dex the other one. Typically, if you get the first one, you get the second one because it's almost immediate dex afterwards. This third dex is where people struggle with, because people try to dex the shards themselves, but it's too late then. The third dex is much quicker than most people realize. Already then, you basically need to dex those lights that are surrounding him, and you need to try dexing the third hit quicker than you think you would. And the last one, you need to wait until he lands. And as soon as he lands, basically, that's when you dex out of the last hit. As soon as he has landed, that's where you can see that I'm dexing right here, right now. So that's about it. Once you do get it, it's still finicky because the windows are fairly tight. Like if you mistime it by a little bit, you will get caught by a part of it. But that's not end of the world in this fight, as long as you have your willpower still active, as long as you haven't accidentally parried before. Right, so what are the best options? I haven't tried all of these, but this is basically what I have heard. If you do have better suggestions, obviously leave them here. But for most part, as long as you are confident in the fight, you can use just about anybody. We have Karina's Challengers, 2021 plus Hero and size M Avengers for Valiant, and obviously the Deathless King Groot objective as additional one. So here, from what I hear, most people use Shang-Chi for Karina Challengers and 2021 Hero, and then they go with a size M Avenger, which is either Photon or Namor or Ant-Man. Those are the main splits, kind of, because Shang-Chi covers 2 objectives. Additionally, you can cover 2 objectives with Captain America Infinity War, and then just going with like Hercules or Chavez for 2021 Hero. Those are the more popular ones. Again, other champions that I have heard do really, really well is I-Hulk for Karina Challengers. She-Hulk, once you get level 1 dex fine, to kind of help you control the AI. 2021 Hero is Hercules, Shang-Chi, Chavez as, the main options, I would say. But again, I'm sure there are more viable options. And size M Avengers would be Captain America Infinity War, Namor, who's very good because you can kind of, cheese through the powers things and everything else and all the neuroshock damage. Photon, Iron Man, and Ant-Man as well. That is just about it. Again, I will keep practicing this fight. This fight's definitely not easy, but I have heard a lot of mixed feedback about it, and instead of adding it into a separate video, I'll just point it out in the same one. I do genuinely think this fight is good for people, because I don't think it's an absolute bullshit fight. It is a bullshit champion. Onslaught, he has bullshit mechanics. I really like, if there's one thing that I would want to change in this fight, is Onslaught being able to switch off willpower. I think he should not have that ability, period. I really hate champions that switch off masteries. It's fucking bullshit. That's what's bullshit. If Onslaught would not be able to switch off willpower, I think this would be perfectly fine, enjoyable, and learnable fight. That's how I'm going to put it. I think everything else about this fight is fine. This is one of those fights that forces you to be better as a player. This is definitely one of those fights where, Onslaught's defensive value will diminish after this because you will learn how to dex his level 1 if you want to do this efficiently. And a lot of people will. Therefore, I think it's for the good of the player base, despite all the pains and griefs and everything going through. The bullshit part is definitely the willpower switching off. Kabam should never, ever, ever, ever release another champion that fucks with their masteries. That is what really pisses me off. Other than that, the fight itself, the nodes, everything else is could be way worse. I think it's fine. I think it's playable. I think you can deal with it. I think most people can deal with it. If these are meant to be hard challenge fights, then this is hard challenge fight. Some weeks we're going to get easier ones, some weeks we're going to get harder ones. This is a harder one. I'm not going to make a big fuss about that. The switching of the willpower is bullshit. Absolutely. Anyways, that's what I think of the fight. That's what I can offer you guys for now. As I said, there will be more streams as I am trying to get better and better at this fight, because I do think it is important to learn how to fight Onslaught as well as we can, for the betterment of everyone as a player. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about